In Arlong Empire. I don't know why I decided that was the voice. That was the very first line of the chapter. In the voice I gave Usopp was that. So that's what we're sticking to.
Oh, no, I think like you know what? I was gonna say maybe for regular characters, I don't know, it could just be just a crazy scared townsperson. But Usopp, he's got a little bit of a scared nature to him. I feel
That's
like
fair.
it could be a. I wouldn't if I was the casting director and you came in with that, I'd be like, we're gonna pass.
Right.
But not a bad choice. Not
Right.
a bad
But I like
choice.
your choice. I like that you went for it, buddy. But you're not right for this project. I get it. I've heard that before, plenty of times.
And you know what? You know what project we're dealing with here? A project with Usopp. You may not have heard those words. Hopefully you have. Otherwise, Chapter 72 is really not the right starting point. But we are the Grand Line Tourist, a chapter by chapter examining, if you're me, or re-examining, if you're my friend across the internet there,
Hello.
of Aiichiro Oda's One Piece.
Yeah.
Doing the examining, I am your tourist, Jacob. Pick a letter, Jarecki. And who am I joined by? I'm joined by none other than the currently yellow-clad.
Yeah.
I like the color. I don't know if is that new?
It's just my work jacket. I've been getting a lot of compliments on this yellow, so maybe I should be wearing yellow more.
Oh, I just feel like, I feel like a couple months ago, I don't remember you having the yellow. So I just feel like
a couple
I feel
months
like it's
ago it was in
newish.
winter.
It's true. Okay, fine. It came out of, I gotta, I need to upgrade my jacket memory to be like yearly so I can be like, the yellow jacket's back.
Right,
but
yellow
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Isn't that a show? That's a show on something right now. Yeah, this is Eric. You can only choose the letter C because that's what my middle name starts with. So Eric Sivu. I'm here as your tour guide, here to guide you all on this mystical journey through this metaphorical ocean that we're gonna call the East Blue. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm getting better and
Mystical
better
journey
at
through
it.
the metaphorical
All the
ocean.
words are fitting into the syllables that I want them to be. It's kind of like rapping, but with an R.
Mystical, metaphorical, mystical.
Yeah,
I like
dude.
it.
Nice.
It's good.
That's great. You killed it. I can tell you did
Okay.
choir.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did choir. I didn't take the freestyle love supreme class.
Right. No, you didn't. You did not take that one.
Well, you know what? You know what I did? I did do, although it's not necessarily a class. I went ahead and prepped the itinerary for today so that everyone can know what's going on.
What's
in
going down
our
today?
world of One Piece in
chapter
chapter 72, proper living.
Proper
Yes.
living. Name of your
Proper living.
first rap album.
Here we go. Usopp. He, he's worried about the coming Arlong Empire, while Genzo takes wallop after wallop from the potential emperor to be Arlong himself. Arlong, he intends to make an example of poor little Genzo, while Genzo is telling everybody, don't get in the way, don't stop him.
Don't do
They
it.
gotta continue. We made a promise, we made a pact
Perseverance.
to fight, yes, by persevering, by not resisting, but enduring. Bold, buff, crazy words. And it's, and the reason they failed in the past. There was apparently a resistance attempt in the past. Must not have went well. Everyone's sad about it. They made this pact to endure.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if that's
right
where
when
those scars are coming from.
that could be. That
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
Very observant. Very good.
Observing.
To be expected from someone who's seen this before.
Yes. Yes.
But right when Arlong is about to pile drive Genzo to the ground, finishing him and, kind of squashing this rebellion as he sees it by killing the person who barely did anything, apparently just has a weapon, is
Has a
the
sword
current
somewhere.
crime.
Yeah.
Quote-unquote Captain Usopp bravely from a distance fires off some classic exploding stars. Good old Usopp coming in, slingshot. Pew, pew. Arlong takes takes offense at this, isn't particularly pleased, picks up a building that Usopp is currently on, lifts it, and the crew of Arlong, they start freaking out a little bit because they're starting to doubt the ability to tax and tithe people in an empire where
Yeah.
they keep destroying every village.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem wise. So they're kind of a little bit of a crazy leader, like slightly more level-headed crewmates, getting a little confused. You know what? I'm not even sure if I should call them crewmates. They're like land people. I don't even know if they have boats, but I feel like they probably do.
I think they're
we'll get into that a little
they're
later.
fishermen.
Yeah, they're fishermen.
Yeah.
So the fishermen, they start chasing Usopp, and Cocoa Village is thus safe for now. Genzo is hurt, but okay. And you know what? Who decides to show their backstab betrayal face in the town, Eric?
Oh, used to be our girl, Nami.
Used to be our girl.
Used
Used to
to
be our
be our
favorite
girl.
gal on the crew.
Yeah. when she was our navigator. That's a Bruno Mars reference.
What reference?
Bruno Mars.
Very good, very good. Nami, just the way you are. But she's not scorned. Everyone in the village, they seem okay with her, and she's carrying some flowers, which we learn is for her to put on a grave. The grave of who? Unsaid, unspecified. We got some ideas. We might go into it. But is it Nojika or Nojiko? Or am I off completely on Nojika's name?
I think it's Nohiko.
Nohiko.
Let me look at the spelling again. These side characters. There's so many side characters, right? Yeah, I think it's maybe Nojiko.
All right, Nojiko or Nohiko, depending if you're doing that for the J.
Yeah, if you're doing the Spanish
pronunciation
of her name.
I know I default to Spanish because I know a little bit of Spanish, but by default probably Nojiko, saying, Nami's telling her that she's only got 7 million berries to go. Sounds like a big number until she mentioned that she can buy the village from Arlong for 100 million berries, which means, this is great, this is live math on the podcast, 93 million berries have already been obtained, some of which I assume came from, Luffy and crew, freshly stolen, freshly counted. And then we do a quick cut to Zoro, who was released last chapter, is chilling inside Arlong Park. Apparently he did a good job, made some quick work of some folks, but isn't exactly sure how to continue. He's contemplating Nami, what's going on with her. He's contemplating his mission to bring her back to Luffy. Right now, just kind of sitting pretty, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say, what's the greatest thing is that there are 93 million minutes in a year, just like that Rent song.
93 million berries.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to buy back the whole town.
And still with all that berries, they still won't pay rent. They refuse to pay rent. God, that show. Okay, so before we jump into discussion, we got a cover story to tackle. So,
Buggy's crew after the battle, part 25. Mysterious figures in the east.
The east. East. Japan's in the east.
This was you know what? This is one where I'm not sure if I correctly parsed exactly what's going on. Because I don't know who the mysterious figures are. Well,
you don't know?
You know what? Now that I look closer, I think I should know. We got, there's 3, and then there's 1. So we got a total of 4 up there, right? Four figures. 4 figures. We had the big punching battle happen with all of Buggy's body parts recently.
Right.
So, is one of the people Buggy, potentially?
I mean, that I feel like that's such a safe guess. I don't even want you to dust off your tinfoil hat.
No, I don't want to either. I just got very uncertain when I realized I probably should have tried to figure out who these people were. But you know what? Right now I'll just be honest. I really don't know. I got my prediction on Buggy, and my brain has not gone through the exercise of figuring out who the other 3 would be.
But what about the other? Well, I get okay, but you should at least know one other person that he is with.
That Buggy's with.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, because he's been traveling with her, right?
Right. Okay, so that's...
Okay, yeah.
So she's probably up there, too.
Yeah, she's probably up there, too. No, you know what? I didn't think of the logistics. I was like, if those are Buggy's body parts, is he still in... Okay, well, you know what? Maybe... Okay, you know what? I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're pretty good together.
My understanding now, I'm not going to talk too much about all 4, because I haven't thought through that, but I'm just going to go through... It looks like Buggy's back together, because that doesn't look like a chibi-sized person up there.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to guess... So, we'll just say this. I think the other 2, and this is my guess because I don't quite remember, but I think I'm right. I think it's the 2 guys who beat each other up. So, the first mate.
Okay, no. I was leaning towards that internally. I hadn't thought through the logistics of it yet, but I like it. We got basically...
and Kabahi?
Kabahi?
Yeah.
We got our leaders up there. They're talking it out or doing something. But I do like the fact that I do believe that is Buggy resurrected, right? That's my current, take on it.
That's it, yeah. Through the...
Richie didn't... I don't understand why Richie's not up there. Richie is the most important...
Well, Richie was getting cooked.
Pirate captain. Oh, but he needs to be up there. He needs to be a part of the conversation.
They're out of the pot now, which I think is really funny. But yeah, I do think because they were getting cooked, man. That's probably why.
I know, but get him up there. He needs to be the most important leader in the group is not present at the summit, and I'm disappointed.
My favorite thing is that all of these other lowly pirates are like, yeah, Richie can lead us. That's who should lead us. They're all for it. So,
Hey, there was a battle. He won fair and square. That's how it works.
all right. First topic that we will discuss, and we looked up some political words prior to this recording, and we shall use
Indeed.
it now. And I wrote this discussion point. Point A is called "A Look at the Arlong Empire," which is authoritarian. Is what we were kind of talking about.
Yeah,
Like
we think potentially an authoritarian government that's also totalitarian. You know, they're ruling by force.
By force.
The word empire actually tells us a lot, right? They want to like basically take control of places and then.
I didn't even think about that. That's really cool. Yeah, the word empire means that like it leads to the whole idea of expanding. And
yeah, it's like I don't know if it's the official word for the type of government. Like right here, they're saying like colonialism. Like that's like the word that you'd use for somebody that does that. But an empire is almost a nicer way to put it, right?
Right.
They're ruling over others, as opposed to like I don't know, having kids and waiting a long time.
Right. Exactly.
Like if you want to like have more people, like that's the only other way to do it, right? You have your own. You get more fish people by getting on, as the fishes say.
And he's like coming in real hard in this one. Arlong's coming in with extreme prejudice, like extreme just example of beating people down. It's almost to the point where he enjoys just killing humans every once in a while.
Oh yeah, no, I like we were talking last time. I made some comments of like I don't know, we haven't seen the full on racism. I do have a comment here just right in my notes that says racism in full force. You know, just to quote a little bit: all creatures are not born equal. Humans have to know their place in the world. We are the master race. All those come out in this chapter, and you know, I don't think a lot of them come from not Arlong, which is an interesting point. If any, I don't know if we have like. There's a little bit of the big ones. I'm curious if the foot soldiers of this racist band.
That's what you mean. Okay.
Are as
Because no one's saying it as much as him. No one's
no one's saying as much as him. And then the fact that when he was starting to destroy the town, the other ones started worrying about like, how's this empire even work, man? That's
a very fair thought. I think that guy.
Yeah, like
they know.
It's a fair thought, and they know that like it means that they're less concerned. Their concerns are not just the racism, right? Their concerns go beyond to, we got the situation, it's set up, it's kind of how it is, we're cool with it, we like being the master race, but we do want to, like, we don't want to just murder everybody all the time, especially when they do the farming and they get us the tithes and we get the taxes, like, they want to make this work.
And I was also instantly thinking, like, how are these villagers even earning money? Are people coming to port and buying and leaving? And then so people know that this stuff's happening. Like it's too much to think about.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean it's even if I think that is a reasonable thing to assume, right? Like that they are producers of some sort, and then they sell their production to somewhere else. But but then you're right. That does mean that a little bit of other folks in the world of One Piece pulling the wool over their eyes.
Oh yeah.
They're not They're letting our fake Hitler, make the first moves in taking his little fish empire.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I do like your point, though. I do like the point that it seems to be coming from Arlong, so there has to be some sort of thing later. Either he's lost to humans, or humans have wronged him. I feel like that's where it's kind of escalating towards, or foreshadowing.
Yeah. No, but it is interesting. We have seen the reverse racism. I mean, the opposite type of... I think Usopp said there's been some other words fired back of like, you filthy fish people. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't feel like it's just a personal affront. It does feel like this racism pervades the world of One Piece a little bit. Like whether or not everyone feels it as viscerally as willing to pile drive someone's head into the ground. There is still like, it still seems to be a thing around in this area, if anything.
And this kind of brings up, we were talking about the wolves over their eyes of these visitors, but there is also a big theme of like enduring the injustices until what though, right? Like I think this is like,
well, I think that you're right. It brings up the really good question of that is a solution, but it is not it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and it also, I think, because this is a trope that happens in a lot of things, specifically in anime, I feel like it comes up a lot. So it might even be, I wrote this down as a note, like maybe there's a difference in culture and belief here about like the strength and perseverance over like action sometimes.
Yeah, well, I think the question is giving in the same as giving up? And I think Oda / our characters, our heroes, are making the case that yes, it is, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't give in to the oppressors. It's almost like, I mean, if you just take, like, Luffy's general strategy, right? It's like, jump in, put yourself there, go for what you want, right? Death is no problem or, like, object, right? So, like, you could say that, like, this is not the way Luffy would have dealt with the situation, right? Luffy would have fought right away and died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's it's just kind of interesting to look at, and they were like, he was gonna kill Jinzo.
Yeah, like it's so interesting. We haven't ever gotten to the point in One Piece yet where there has been like a flat out moment of a character's death, like initiated by another character. And so it does mean that when those moments are happening, I don't feel the tension as much because I know I'm just I'm a little worried sometimes. I'm like this one. I'm like, wow. Well, like, we stopped the panel midway. I'm like, okay, something's happening in the next panel.
Fairness, though, in Romance Dawn, Chapter 1, the chubby shake pirate straight up kills that bandit.
Yeah, it was kind of ignored, though, right? We didn't go into it afterward, but you're right. Like, it did. Did they mention the word killed? Like, it was just, like, clear that the person was dead?
I mean, it was like a point-blank headshot. While the guy was still munching on meat, so...
I don't know. World of One Piece, a lot of people come back from a lot of things.
This is fair. That's just an anime shonen trope overall.
No, but it's fun. I didn't expect him to get hurt. I mean, I expected him to get hurt a lot and then survive, and he did, and it was thanks to Captain Usopp.
Yeah. Also, overall, you mentioned it too, but Arlong has obviously like an anger issue, and he's not thinking long term. Like his crewmates are, like his underlings are definitely like, if we kill everybody, there is no money.
Yeah. Arlong is really vicious, right? Like he wants to, he wants to be cruel, and yeah, whether or not that's leading to something we don't know about his past, or if he's just cruel, hard to tell.
It's also like another discussion and another way of looking at like what makes good leaders. And like Arlong, like an aspect of being a leader is strength. So he has that. He's obviously powerful. He actually he has the authority.
He lifted a house.
Right. He's throwing houses. This fish man is throwing houses. But like, does he have the other side of it, which is like the ability to recognize his anger, the ability to recognize what it takes to run an empire, right? I think they follow him because they fear him, but also like they can see that he's very short-sighted. And maybe that's something that we'll get to explore and exploit even later on in the arc.
I have another theory about why they follow him, and it leads to a very important question. Is Arlong Santa? He's got like a Santa hat on, doesn't he?
Is he Santa Claus? Well, that's assuming that Santa Claus is a fishman this whole time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say real, and I was like, well, we all know Santa's real, so like...
Right, man, we all know that. But is there even a Santa in the world of One Piece? That's a real toughie of a question.
Oh, I feel like we've had a cover panel, I think, of our main characters dressed up as
that would have to be that
Santa.
Christianity is like a thing in this world.
Well, we did just see a cross that was indicating the grave. It goes deep.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a separately developed holiday for consumers that's unrelated to our Christian-based holiday that is also for selling stuff. But no, either way, I actually just thought that it looks like a Santa hat to me a little bit. I don't know. Does it not look like a little bit of a Santa hat? There's no ball at the end.
It's more of a it looks like more like an Andy Samberg hat that he wore in Hot Rod. I don't know. That's what it's jumping out of me right now on the top of my head.
I see what you're saying. I think it's because I don't know what colors those are. Like my mind is just seeing that front brim is white, that top part is red, and I'm like, that's Santa.
That's Santa
But
Claus.
And also it's close to Christmas. I want to make a Christmas tie-in, so there we go. The holiday
That's true.
tie-in.
You know,
there
by
you
the
go.
time this episode comes out, it probably will be Christmas, and that's a gift from us to you guys, listeners.
Yeah, you know, I have the option to just push the publication date whenever I want.
Exactly.
I'll just push it Christmas morning. There we go. Boom.
It is loosey goosey here on the Grand Line Tourist. Loosey goosey. You know who else is loosey goosey? Nami. And what's her deal? What's her thing? What's she trying to do? That's the name of this discussion point.
The sad thing is, I think actually it may all be clear, and if it's all clear, she's a little bit wrong-headed in my opinion. I do not think that Arlong is going to accept the money of 100 million berries and then say, I'm done taking care of this town. is she trying to buy? Wait, she's trying to buy Cocoa Village, right?
Yeah, and can I just say, we have to, for a moment, ladies and gentlemen of this podcast, we all got to do like a small little golf clap right now. Click, click, clap, 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 clap. Because our very own Jacob, mysterious middle initial Jarecki,
Yes,
made this prediction way back in chapter
I made a
49.
oh my God!
Yeah,
I don't even know what it is. I'm ready.
Your prediction in chapter 49, per my notes, was that Nami is saving the treasure for something.
Yes!
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
We did it. And how do you feel,
goodness.
Jacob? Let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment. Address the people. Address the people like you just won the biggest thing in your life. Just talk from the bottom of your heart.
People, tourists, tour guides out there, I started this podcast not knowing how to make predictions. And then I made some. And then I made a lot of predictions. And then I started to doubt myself. But I'm here to tell you, you should never doubt yourself. Each one of your predictions will come true if you just keep making more and more episodes of the podcast. Because there's a lot of content in One Piece, and it feels like it's just gonna come my way in the end. That person on the top of the hopefully it's Buggy. If I'm not, then I'm just like, man, I'm really gonna redoubt myself. But right now, I'm in the non-doubting mode. Somewhere in there, my speech ended.
The microphone's now slowly going down. Like
they're playing me off. They're playing me off.
They played you off a while ago. The track was already done.
I'm going back to my seat. I promise. I'm going back to my seat. Okay.
Well,
Yeah. I'm delightfully pleased. I'm delightfully pleased that you kept track of this for me, because I didn't. I'm not going to be able to. Clearly, I will not be able to remember any of my predictions.
And there's no point of us doing TFHs if no one's going to keep track of them. So I got to keep track of them.
Exactly. There we go.
Congrats to
I've
you.
gladly given that job to you.
Hat off to you, sir. Your tinfoil hat off to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. She is a little wrong-headed here, but like, is that like something in her head is based off of trauma, because there's obviously trauma.
No,
based off.
it feels like it's got to be like, because I mean, if we just take a look at even just the recent facts, right?
Yeah.
Ghost of Village was just destroyed. He almost just destroyed this village. Like, how has it not already been destroyed on accident over the years she's been saving all these berries?
But
you know
that
what I mean?
could be, how do we know that that's not like her saving and like stealing all this money?
It could be like she could be making down payments to save the town, right? Like, hey, every time I pay you $1 million, you give us another week. Just
But he also has
destroy
like
Gosa.
He has an affinity for her. Like he likes Nami, right?
Yeah. Which is fun for our racism theme.
Right, exactly. But he likes her. But I think he likes her like the way you like a pet sometimes, right? Like, oh, look how cute my pet is. Look what it can do. My pet can make naps.
I trained this human to give me money.
Right.
Like,
so,
and she thinks I'm going to give her something in return. Oh.
So that's also a reason why, like, that town isn't destroyed yet. I think that we can't ignore that because she is a big part of his life in her talent or in her ability to steal junk for him.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Maybe that's why he's not worried about losing his tithe, because he's like, I can destroy as many villages as I want as long as I got Nami. She goes, she meets some random dudes, she finds some pirates, comes back with a load of cash. It's great.
Now, another thing to note too is that the people of Cocoa Village don't like her.
Yeah,
it was like silence.
No, they don't say anything. I think Nojiko even mentions that, like, hey, you're kind of outcasted here. You're kind of like, I think they must know what she's doing, but maybe it's been long enough that or maybe they don't. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like fully undercover or not, because like they didn't all just like spit at her or anything, but they just kind of, it's hard to tell how to read what was happening there. Nojiko knows, right? Like, it seemed. Maybe I don't even know if we're for sure that Nojiko knows, because I think Nami was kind of talking to herself at the end of the chapter. When she mentioned only 3 million more. I'm not sure. Is there something that's...
Nojiko's kind of coming at this from a, like...
Oh, no. I think she was talking to Nojiko.
Yeah, and she knows, and I think Nojiko's kind of as cheeky as Nami. So I think out of all of them, like, these two people kind of know what's happening. They're the only people with all the information right now.
Yeah.
Right? Are these two characters in this last panel here talking at the grave of what I'm assuming? You know what's funny? She mentions the name long ago.
Oh, the name of the parent?
Yeah,
oh.
She mentions it while she's leaving.
Because it'll be a foster parent. We don't know who, but
when right after she steals, remember, she brings up the name. Yeah, see, that's a little bit of deep cut, but that's not that deep. But right after she told the merry-go is what she talks about. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, of all the characters who know things, these two characters probably know the most right now.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
They have all the information.
We'll have to see how it pans out. You know, I kind of almost like. I wish Nami. I want not like knowing Nami. I hope it's. I almost not want it. I don't want it to just be. She was traumatized and she thinks this is gonna work. I kind of want there to be a layer of deception on top of it. That would be cool. Of like she's actually taking Arlong for a ride somehow, but I don't quite see how because like if he gets the money, can he just wait and then destroy the village? I'm not sure.
We also know it's been 8 years, at least 8 years since the first rebellion or the first time anything big happened. So I'm wondering if it's been like 8 years since Nami's been on this journey, because Nami's like 16, I think, 16, 17. So. Because Luffy's like 15, 16. So, things to think about, sir.
Things to think about, indeed. Now, I'd like to open up, before we go into our ha-has, a little bit of some translation notes, just some fun stuff that I found out about. And it'll actually lead us a little bit. Translation corner. Yes, there's only... we have rooms and corners. Good thing we don't live in any circular rooms. If we knew we lived in a circular room, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast.
No.
We'd run out of corners.
Only, it'd be like translation radius. Or translations, the
chord's another word. Diameter. You got diameter.
Diameter. The pi room, which we only say 3.14 things, and then we're done. Before infinity. Then the podcast never ends.
Woo! All right, math fans, write in and let us know your thoughts about what we should name our next corner.
Today, the bits they're coming out crispy right out the oven, just like a gingerbread dude.
All that said, there is I wanted to share both two things. One was the other name for this chapter title in a different translation of our Stephen Paul translations. Find them online. According to Station. I kind of liked that instead of Proper Living. A little bit more.
According to Station.
Yeah, I think it was like. Well, actually, how would you even interpret Proper Living?
I don't know.
So, according to Station, that helped me interpret what I think Proper Living is translating from. I think they're trying to say everyone has a place. I think the according to Station is according to whether you're a fish person or a human.
Interesting.
And then Proper Living is just kind of like a very bad translation of that idea. Like, you must live as you're supposed to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
the other one, according to Station, is a very racist title. That really underlines the big theme of Arlong's rant in this one. So wow, okay.
No. So I liked according to Station. And then there's little ones throughout, but I did want to share from the SBS corner, and this will lead us into our comedy section. Oh, did you had one from the SBS?
No, I don't think I even read it. Okay, what's your
So there was I think in our translation it says, I heard somewhere that Sanji's afternoon favorite snack is cake, right? Is that true? Actually, let me get it up so I can make sure I got this right.
Yeah, I heard that Sanji's favorite snack is cake.
And then all it does is say it is, right, in question marks.
Yeah.
And so the official slightly more in detailed translation is, I heard from somewhere that Sanji's afternoon snack is Castilla, which is a sponge cake. Okay. Is that true? Question mark. And then in parentheses, after all, and then it has some words in Japanese. And then Oda says, I see. And the translation note is, this is a joke based on a Japanese commercial for Bun Maido Castilla cake. The catchphrase means Bun Maido is the 3 o'clock snack, but 3 o'clock is Sanji in Japanese. So it also sounds like Sanji's snack is Bun Maido. And so I just thought it was interesting in the American version.
I love how Viz Media was
we're gonna get that.
Forget it.
Forget it. That's what it is? Question mark. That means no. We're done. We're not doing that.
It's like the editor is like, I don't care, and I don't want you to waste. Because I bet you the guys who were translating it during this time was like, well, for this joke to work, we need another page of the SBS. He's like, no.
But no, I wanted to share because it was fun, and it also makes a little bit more sense to me why that got put in the SBS. It's like, okay, this was like a cool moment between Oda and this person who, because now Oda's response in this one is, I see, as in I wink, I see what you're saying. We've all seen the sponge cake commercials that we all grew grew up with. But for us, we
He's such a
haven't.
little
So I just
goof,
thought it was
dude. He was a goof. He was
Yeah.
a goober in this. I mean, he must have been younger than you and I when he was writing this arc. Right,
Indeed.
like it's just the thing, and then like he still does SPSs. Did I tell you? Like 1,000 chapters later, he still does them. They're
awesome.
they're in every volume. If you buy if you go out and you buy the latest like volume 99, he's gonna have SPSs in there.
So cool.
Yeah,
Because it's good to be a goof, and we are gonna be goofs because it's time for some jokes. You got some goofy jokes, my friend?
my favorite one from this whole chapter is Who Slop.
Usopp. Wait, I missed the L. Where is it?
It is right after Usopp names himself the Great Demonic King or whatever it is, right? It's one of the fishermen crew is like, Who Slop?
Oh, that is. It is a strange name. Very good. Nice. I actually liked that whole moment where Usopp announces himself and says, "I'm Captain Usopp," because he's like. It also feels to me like he's bringing back. It may not be the case. I think he might just be trying to play it off as like, I got 80,000 men behind me, yada yada. But he does call himself Captain, and I just recall that like a long time ago, him and Luffy had like a I'm gonna be captain. I'm gonna be captain moment. So I like that. And his legs are trembling while he's up there, and then he starts worrying about I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. His cowardice, as a joke, is on full display in this chapter, and I liked it.
It's so good, and but he's also very brave. Like I actually didn't think he was going to step in.
He does, yeah. No, it's good.
There's a really
he steps in from a distance. I like it.
He did. He did. There's a really cool perspective shot on the page beforehand, on page 9, of him. Like you see from his point of view how high up he is.
Yeah.
And
he's
that's
like way up there because it's a
crazy
big tall building.
Yeah, that's a crazy shot for him to like land. I would say from the distance that he's at.
Well, and that fun thing we didn't mention, he's got his glasses on, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, which I assume they're for seeing, right? They gotta be.
Or like
are
even
they
just
for
protecting, probably just protecting his
protecting
eyes.
his eyes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Either way, he's in full ready to go mode though, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Which is really cool. It shows that he's growing, and he came in. He still sees injustices happening, and he's like, I'm not very strong, but I got to do something.
I can pepper you from a distance, and then I can run away.
Did you have another one? Because the last one I have is I laughed that Arlong just picks up the whole house.
That was good. All I had was we usually don't give Zoro such lame lines, but she's definitely up to something fishy. It was just a nice way to end the chapter because we're dealing with fish people. She is up to something fishy.
That's literal, not even a pun.
No, not even. For all we know, Zoro could have been a straight man there, just speaking it as it is, and but it came off as a joke for us. So thank you, Zoro.
If you were to pick up a house, do you think the house would stay together all nice like that, the way Arlong did? Like, I don't think it would keep it safe. Its shape.
Houses have a frame. They have a frame. Like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. That's like a good, there's this silly series of like what ifs, which is like a physicist kind of just goes around in cartoons. What if you threw a baseball at 1 billion miles an hour? What would happen?
Yeah.
Like, the answer
what
is
if
like
Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hand?
Oh,
what
yeah.
If...
Oh, I wasn't even. You're right. It's funny. This what if series predates that what if series. But it's the same idea, but for crazy physics ideas. And so I think what if someone could lift a house up by the corner? What would happen to the rest of the house is actually like a non-trivial question to answer. My instinct says I don't think it would just crumble, but I don't think it would work the way it does in this scene either.
Yeah, like a perfect piece of keep its shape. Yeah.
It is fun though to see that happen.
Talking about shapes, let's talk about some four corners that make a panel, and then we toss those panels at each other in a disco fight.
Yes, talk about the shapes of the bruises that are gonna be on your face after my panel goes at you.
Yeah, let's get into the panel battle.
This is the section of the podcast where Eric and myself, after having chosen those shapes that appear in the panels with their corners, we put them next to each other. We gaze at them. We squint at them. We put on our glasses. We take off our glasses. And then we say, I wish we had perfect eyesight. It would have been nice not to have to worry about this glasses thing our whole life. Aging sucks, yada, yada. After crying a bit, we choose one of the panels to be the leader for the day. And we encourage you to, with hopefully perfect eyesight.
How do I participate? How would I go along with this tier battle that y'all discussed?
How's your vision, young man? Is your vision good or bad?
My vision? Well, it's kind of like 50-50 most of the time. But I like to say 50% I hit my target, and the other 50%, well, I miss.
That's perfect, young man. You just got to use that 50-50 to, put your money. You take your email address 5050 at
Okay.
yahoo.com. You
That-
send an
how'd
email
you
over
guess
to
that?
Grand.
How
You
did
send an email
guess
over-
That was mine? Okay.
I just a hunch, and you send it
That's
over to.
fair.
You send it over to grandlinetourist at gmail.com, young man. And who knows, glory could be yours.
Can I, one more time, I'm just going to repeat the email address to you. Did you say name a podcast at gmail.com?
I hate you 50-50. I am going to filter you through my spam.
In fairness,
goodbye.
I had a flip of a coin's chance to get that email right. Anyway, thank you so much for that, young man. You go on your way now.
All right, go bury yourself in a hole. Okie doke. I can't take this. Here you go. Open up my panel. It's ready for you. It's waiting. And it's better than a 50-50 chance of winning, because look at that. Look,
I have to
probably
guess
don't even know
again,
which one
huh?
it is.
It's the
guess.
middle panel.
You got it. It's the middle.
Yeah, because that's the most
Tell 'em what you
cinematic
see.
one. It's the most cinematic one. We got ooh at the onomatopoeia. Oh, so this is just a close up of Nami's very skinny legs, and she's holding some flowers. But it's really cool because it's separated into two. The panel is separated into two, which is the disaster on the left hand side, like a broken house on the left hand side that Arlong just broke, and then that's Nohiko and Jinzo that we find out as the silhouettes on the right hand side. But I also will say the houses on the right hand side are still put together, meaning that Nami's in the middle of this disaster, that she is stopping, like she's doing whatever she can to stop the disaster from the left hand side to happen to the stuff on the right.
That was amazing because I did not realize this panel was as good as it is. This
Yeah.
panel's amazing. This panel's fantastic.
This is
And
what
then,
I know that you and I
yeah.
sometimes we just choose panels, but I think this section forces us to look at it and then make so much more meaning out of it. But it's kind of
and the thing is, this meaning is so clear. Like, it's
Yeah.
like we have the left half destroyed, the right half isn't, but we do have the coming, like, maybe sense of doom because we have, like, this broken thing on the right side. It's like, it's her struggles to be in the middle and keep this together is not quite working. And then, it just also kind of highlights, the reason I chose it actually was because I saw that broken thing and I liked the cinematography of it. And it made me think, ooh, it's not often you get, like, a character reveal plus, kind of like a summary of the chapter. What happened this chapter? Nami's trying to deal with this.
That's really cool.
Like you know what's happening. And I didn't see the house broken on the left, but you see two things summarized. You see Usopp's like little rebellion summarized and the house being flipped, and then you also see Genzo's little like rebellion with his weapons or whatever being summarized in the broken pole there on the right side.
This is kind of a small thing. There are only two people in silhouettes over there. Potentially only the other two people in the city or in the village who know what she's doing.
Yeah, we got Genzo and Nojiko.
Yeah, right? And Genzo's named, which is usually important in One Piece.
he's not just the guy that has a sword. They didn't want to leave him. They wanted to give him a name.
Yeah, exactly. Because he could have easily just like not named him or give him a nameplate, and he had a nameplate.
And the smallest of asides we haven't talked about. Genzo's a really cool looking, funky character.
Yeah, he has like a little thing on top of his head.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
parasol or
What do they
something,
call
a little
it?
propeller?
No, they have a name.
Propeller. But you're right, they do have a name. But all I
do
can think
have
of is
like a wind.
those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
They're not parasols. There's a different name.
Is that not what? Oh no, parasols are the.
Yeah, they're like
umbrellas,
umbrellas, but
huh?
it feels like parasols. All I can think of. So again, write us in at grandlinetourist at gmail.com. Unless you're
One
Mr.
more
5050.
time with that
oh my
email
God, he's back.
address of yours. Name a podcast.
Dig the hole
at
deeper.
gmail.com.
Dig the hole deeper, son. You're not
Okay.
you're not all the way there yet.
I may sound older, but that's because I'm cold. Cool. Thank you so much for that, man. And then go ahead and click on mine. Anyways, I think your panel wins because this panel's very good.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny. I didn't realize how good it was. I also just liked it's revealing something about Nami we don't know yet. Why is she carrying flowers to the city?
And
'cause
like
she's gonna
flowers,
put them on the grave.
But when I think of flowers all the time, I definitely instantly think of memories. So it's
Yeah.
like she's holding the memories in her left hand, walking down a path that she can only walk by herself, right? And then the two things, like literally two outcomes sitting on both sides. It's like really good.
It's a dang good panel.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
It says
What do we
a
got
lot,
here?
dude.
What pathetic little panel does mine have to go up against? We got Doom. Got our onomatopoeia with a long line between the O and the M. We got good old Zoro. He's saying, "I promised Luffy I'd bring that girl back. And we have a bunch of fish folk unconscious on the floor, indicating that our master swordsman Zoro has made quick work of folks after he was let loose by Nami.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I just thought about logistically, he only has one sword now, right?
Yeah, because the other two are gone.
I was gonna say, even all tied up, he's still pretty dangerous because if he can get that sword in his teeth, he should be, fairly adept. I know it's not the 3-sword technique.
I think it takes him a little while to get more swords. So right now, in this arc at least, Zoro is one-sworded.
Yeah. No, but very good. And then it just, this is almost fun from where it comes into play because we didn't know what was happening. All we knew was his bonds were cut, right?
Yeah.
And now just to have him chilling, lots of unconscious people around him, it's a pretty funny reveal for what Zoro's been up to.
So you haven't said why I kind of really like this panel.
Wait. We got the Doom. I promised Luffy I'd bring that girl back. We got unconscious folk. He's sitting cross-legged with his arms behind his back. You can see the sword coming out the side. Got windows. Nope, you're gonna have to let me know. I don't see it.
He's sitting in Arlong's chair.
Oh, well, duh. Yeah, no, I mentioned, the pose made me immediately think of like someone taking the throne in Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually think about whose throne it was, and he's sitting in Arlong's chair. Dun, dun, dun.
He's sitting in Arlong's chair, and to me, Arlong last chapter says for humans to fight against fishmen is fighting against nature himself. And essentially, I like this so much because Zoro's sitting on that chair casually saying like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I shall fight nature. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I mean, this is also really fun because when you're paying attention to this sort of stuff, it, assuming it pans out this way, we're going to have a Zoro Arlong fight potentially, that will kind of let this...
Oh, Zoro's fighting. If it's Arlong, I don't know, but he's fighting. That's what the boys
No,
do.
I know.
Yeah.
No, but this would be a fun, like this would be, if it winds up being that Zoro does fight Arlong, we do have this being a fun foreshadow to it, being like, well, you sat in my chair, and Zoro's like, well, you said humans are no good, and I'm not the kind of guy that backs away from any fight, right?
You said humans are no good, but humans are really good at sitting.
Look at my casual pose. Looks like if you actually just like squint, it looks like there's a 7. His legs make a 7.
Yeah.
Indicating who knows what. Tinfoil hat time? No, I'm not gonna make any predictions based off that 7 cross-legged leg there. But if you'd like to, grandlinetourist@gmail.com.
It's gonna be whatever. Even if you made one up right now, it'd be better than last chapter's tinfoil hat.
Hey, they're all we've seen the first domino fall.
All right, geography it is.
The dominoes are just going to start every chapter from here on out. There's going to be like, oh my goodness, golf clap for Jacob.
We got to figure out, let's be petals in the wind. Flower petals in the wind.
Yeah. Wait, because Nami was putting petals on at the end. Wait, I just want to see, did the petals actually, I didn't even notice, did they go in the wind in the chapter?
They do, actually. There's a close-up on the panel before. After the clack clack of Jinzo's little wind spinning thing, the next panel is petals flying off.
Nice, very cool. All right, so we have our petals floating in the wind. I like it. You lead us in.
Okay.
Why are the petals singing?